Hey everyone. So if you're building products with AI right now, you already know the stakes are just incredibly high. The real question is, how do you ship something that actually works? Today, we're going to dive into a framework that helps you move past just hoping for the best and into a world of data-driven confidence. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's just cut right to the chase. You've got the leaders of OpenAI and Anthropic, the people who make the models we all use, publicly saying their own tech is unreliable. So how on earth are you, as a product manager, supposed to build a real product on top of that? A product your customers can actually depend on? That's the huge problem we're going to tackle today.
You know, this leads to what I think is a real crisis of confidence for anyone building with AI. The expectations are through the roof, right? But the minute you get your hands dirty, you hit this confidence slump. You quickly realize that just messing around with prompts until something kinda sorta looks good, what some people call vibe coding, is not a real strategy for a production-ready product. Not even close.
And look, this isn't just a hunch, it's not just a feeling. The folks at the very top of these AI companies are telling us point blank that their models can't always be trusted. And the takeaway here is, well, it's pretty simple. When the people selling you the product are literally warning you about its flaws, you should probably listen to them.
This really splits the road into two very different paths. Over on the left, you've got vibe coding. And hey, it's fine for a quick and dirty prototype. You run one prompt, it spits something out, and you go, yeah, that looks pretty good. But it gives you absolutely zero confidence when it's time to go live. What we want is over on the right, thrive coding. It's all about using data to build with real, actual confidence.
So, how do we make that jump from vibe coding to thrive coding? The answer, in one word, is evals. Evals are the key. This is how we stop relying on that fuzzy, subjective feeling of, it looks good, and start using objective, data-driven measurements that we can actually stand behind.
And you know, this is why building with AI is such a different beast. Traditional software is deterministic. 1 + 1 will always equal 2, every single time. But with AI, these systems are non-deterministic. I mean, you could probably convince a large language model that 1 + 1 equals 3 if you tried hard enough. Your old-school unit tests just fall apart when a system is based on data and probabilities, not fixed lines of code.
Okay, so if we can't write a simple pass-fail test, how in the world do we check thousands of AI outputs at scale? Well, we use this really clever technique called LLM-as-a-judge. All it means is you're hiring another powerful AI to be your grader. You give it a super specific rubric and ask it to judge the quality of your own AI's output. This right here is the secret to doing evaluations at scale.
And a good eval prompt has a clear anatomy, a recipe, if you will. There are 4 key parts. First, you have to set the role. You are a toxicity classifier. Be direct. Second, provide the context. Here is the user's comment you need to evaluate. Third, clearly define the goal. Your job is to determine if this text is toxic. And finally, and this is so important, you have to specify the exact labels it should use, like toxic or not toxic. No ambiguity.
All right, enough theory. Theory's great, but let's see what this looks like in the real world. Let's walk through an eval in action. And you'll see how we can go from that single vibe check to a proper scaled-up A/B test that actually gives us the confidence we need to ship.
So let's say we're building an AI trip planner. Our first attempt, our little vibe code prototype, it spits out this wall of text. It's super long, way too detailed, and honestly, it sounds like a robot wrote it. I mean, technically it works, but the user experience is just flat. We know we can do way better.
So we iterate. Prompt A is our original, the robotic one. For prompt B, we get way more specific with what we actually want as a business. We tell the AI, hey, don't be so verbose, keep it under 500 characters, and then we add a crucial business requirement. Always offer a discount for an email. Now we've got a real A/B test on our hands.
Now, just looking at one output is basically useless. To get real, meaningful data, we have to scale this thing up. So first, we create a data set with at least a dozen different trip requests. Second, we run both prompt A and prompt B across every single one of those examples. And third, we unleash our LLM-as-a-judge to automatically grade all of the results.
And boom, here's the payoff. Our AI judge went through every single output and checked for one simple thing. Did it offer the discount? And the results? They're not just clear, they're undeniable. The original prompt A had a 0% success rate. It never once offered the discount. But our improved prompt B, it nailed it 100% of the time. Now that is not a vibe. That is data. We can now ship prompt B with complete confidence.
Okay, we're feeling awesome about our results. We're ready to ship. But hold on a second. This is where we have to go one level deeper. We just used an AI to grade another AI, right? Well, that introduces this critical meta problem. How do we know our AI judge is any good?
Let's just ask the question straight up. Those results for the discount offer looked perfect, 100%. But can you actually truly trust the AI that came up with that number? What if the judge was confused? What if it was hallucinating? We can't just blindly trust the system we built to check the system.
And that right there leads us to maybe the most important insight for building production-ready AI. You absolutely positively need evaluations for your evaluations. You need checks and balances. You need to make sure your whole measurement system is reliable. And almost always, that means bringing a real human into the loop.
And if you're not convinced, look at this data. We asked the LLM judge to grade outputs on something subjective, like friendliness. Then we compared its grades to grades from actual humans. The results are, well, they're shocking. They agreed less than 10% of the time. The AI thought that super robotic output was friendly, but every human was like, no way. This is hard proof that you just cannot skip human oversight, especially for squishy, subjective things.
So what does all of this add up to? Well, this isn't just about learning a new technique or using a new tool. When you really embrace this data-driven evaluation framework, it represents a fundamental paradigm shift in what it even means to be a product manager in the age of AI. The job is changing. And here it is. This is the big idea, the powerful takeaway I want you to remember. Evals are the new requirements document. Just think about that. Instead of handing your engineers a Google Doc with some vague descriptions, you give them a data set and a set of evaluations. The requirement is no longer make it sound friendly. The requirement is achieve a 95% pass rate on our human-verified friendliness eval. It's specific, it's testable, it's objective.
So let's do a super quick recap of what we learned today. Number 1, AI models are, by their very nature, unreliable. You have to accept that. 2, evals are our secret weapon for objective, data-driven measurement. 3, the workflow is simple. Prototype, then A/B test at scale, then evaluate everything. 4, you have to have evals for your evals. Always keep a human in the loop. And finally, the big one, evals are your new PRD.
So I'm going to leave you with one final thought to take back to your team. Look at your current product requirements. If you can't turn them into a testable evaluation, are they really specific enough to build reliable products in this new age of AI? Something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.